Originally designed by Charles Moneypenny, the same architect who created Daytona International Speedway, Michigan International is best known for awesome speeds and competitive racing spawned by its broad racing surface and 73-foot wide, 18-degree bank turns. Michigan's width and steep banking ensure there's always more than one racing groove, and the fact that MIS is not a super speedway means drivers have more than enough power to make a challenge out of the turns at both ends of the track. Once upon a time, Indy cars frolicked on those high banks at breathtaking speeds, witness to Paul Tracy's record qualifying lap of 234.949 miles per hour. Today, Michigan regularly vies with Daytona, Talladega, and Texas as NASCAR's fastest speedway, with Jeff Gordon holding the NASCAR Cup Series track record at 206.558 miles per hour. Richard Petty, David Pearson, Bobby and Davey Allison, Dale Sr. and Jr., Jeff Gordon, Jimmy Johnson, they've all added their names to the roll call of MIS winners, one that also includes names like Andretti, Foyt, Unser, Mears, and Zanardi, from the days when Indy cars raced in the Irish Hills. Allison to Yarborough, Andretti to Zanardi, the world's greatest racing drivers have been coming to Michigan to test their mettle for more than 40 years. And the fans have followed by the hundreds of thousands. Tonight, it's League versus League in the Halloween Brawl, and it's next on HBR TV. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the virtual Michigan Raceway for the Numb Thumbs Racing League versus the Vigilante Racing League Halloween Brawl. Michigan International Speedway, the race details for tonight: 76-degree ambient temperature, 63% humidity, partly cloudy skies, an 8-mile-per-hour breeze. Not sure exactly which direction it's rolling through, but if it's coming down from the backstretch, watch those speed trap times into turn number 3. 80 laps the race distance. Track temperature 115 degrees. The drivers have a 65% fuel load available to their use tonight, and 2 sets of tires over the wall. Really, 3 sets overall should be just fine. Practice still wrapping up here, a couple of minutes to go. Zach Millett fastest thus far. Lap time for Millett, 39.51 seconds. 46 adjusted Morrow, 39.60. Dylan Bryant, 64. Winker is 65. And the 14 of Annalea Eaton. Hopefully I'm not butchering that. Some new names here I'm not used to, but that's 5th fast, and that's 39.67. And the time's really all the way down through the majority of this field below 39 seconds. Now, we have talked to some of the drivers, and they've really made a point to say, well, that's drafting related. That's not typical lap time you'll see in qualifying, but we'll see if that remains true. Again, I want to thank you guys for joining us here at HBR TV. Again, the primary broadcast tonight over on AAA Broadcasting. Derek gave us permission here as of late to jump in and do a simulcast for tonight's race. So just for fun. Annalea Eaton in the number 14 Toyota Tundra TRD Pro. Practice just about wrapped up here. Going to put the black and red flags out on the session here. We'll get right into qualifying to set tonight's field. Big field of trucks here tonight. 42 trucks likely to take the green flag here tonight. Maybe 41, we'll see. Might be a couple of interlopers in here that aren't actually racing that'll still pop up into the standings overlay to the left of your screen. So with that, let's see who hits pit lane first and starts their qualifying attempt. Looks like Winker Nation's going to be the first to hit the track in their number 42 machine. At least he's first. Yeah, there he is. Now he's going to roll. Kevin Winker back to the main straightaway here, across the stripe. Again, taking a look at the practice results from earlier on. Zach Millett was fastest, 39.511. Justin Morrow, 93 thousandths shy. Then it was Dylan Bryant, Kevin Winker, who we're watching now, and then Annalena Eaton, your top five. Back to start finish. Kevin Winker with his lap. Where does he land? It's not going to be close as practice time goes, so let's see where he's at. 40.39, and then just like that, the 20 takes the top spot, and then Zach Millett goes P1, 40.09 on his first time by. Jeremiah Burke, Dave Mayberry, they're 1 and 2 now. Burke getting below 40 seconds to 39.99. Special price at your local Walmart. Watch Zach Millett on his second lap. Let's see if he can pick it up. A lot of guys running faster on that first lap. Skylar Harrod goes 40.03. Ottinger goes fastest, 39.98. Millett across the line, improves slightly, but up to P3, 40.01. Jesse Redding, a late ad here at Michigan, 40.47 his first lap. And lap number 2 for Redding, improvement, 40.263, sits 18th on the grid. Albert Anderson, the number 99, 40.973 his first time by, 21st on the grid as of now. Lap 2 in the books for Anderson. Not a huge improvement. 22nd quick, 40.46. Dylan Bryant, Lucas Oil, number 8. Well, that's a Pepsi number 8. Lucas Oil on the tailgate. Dylan out of Stem, North Carolina. '17th quick, first time by for Bryant, 40.090. Not a bad lap by any means. Again, guys, thanks for joining us here tonight on our simulcast broadcast of the Halloween Brawl, the VRL versus the NTRL. The league with the most drivers, I believe, within the top 10 will be declared the victor. Stripe, Dylan Bryant crosses the line. Where does he land? Does not improve. A little bit slower, actually, on lap 2 for the number 8. Caleb Sisk out of Statesville, North Carolina. Caleb's going to be one to watch here tonight. He's going to have some pace. Lap 1 in the books, and he goes P1, 39.854 seconds. That is a fast lap all by yourself. No draft utilization whatsoever for the 6. Only goes one and done. Puts it on the pole. While Jack Dixon in the 07. First lap of 40.134. Jack out of Ontario, Canada. Just across the pond for me here in Rochester, New York. Dixon goes 19th. Second lap, 40.074. Kelly Kuhl, probably saying it wrong, but I'm going with it. Top two right now, Caleb Sisk with a 39.85. Morrow second fast, 39.94. Kelly across the stripe, 40.002. Eighth quick thus far. Impressed here, the top 8 below 40 seconds. Did not expect to see that. Fuel window tonight should be right around 23 laps, so keep that in mind. Might see some guys stretch it maybe to 25, depending on fuel conservation modes. Kelly across the stripe, still ninth quick, 40.036, a little bit slower, but pretty consistent. Chris Klein across the stripe. 40.049 for Klein. 39.96 his first lap, fourth fast. Klein with a different paint scheme for this particular race. Couple of drivers, at least in the timing and scoring, not taking a lap in qualifying. Again, it might just be a matter of admin duties. It's Lori Vaught, could be saying that completely wrong, and Mark Collins. We'll see if they take the grid here when the race begins, but they may be here just in admin roles. But with that, a couple of minutes left in the qualifying session. It seems just about everybody is taking the time here. We're going to step aside, get a break out of the way. We'll be back with our starting grid after this. Back at Michigan International Speedway, the starting grid for tonight's NTRL versus VRL Halloween Brawl. On the pole position with a lap time of 39.854, it's the 6 of Caleb Sisk. Outside front row, it's the 46 of Justin Morrow. Row number 2, Mike Taylor and Chris Klein. Row 3, it's Tim Pope and Jeff Ottinger. Row number 4, Mike Adamson and Jeremy Burke. Row 5, it's Kelly Kuhl and Zach Millett rounding out the top 10. Starting 11th, it's Jess Vaught. Tommy Welch in the 9 will start 12th. 13th starter is going to be Andrew Cawthon. Larry Dickerson in the 17 will start 14th. 15th, Skylar Harrod in the 3. Brayton Laster will start 16th. 17th goes to Andrew Player. 18th, Connor Leach. 19th starter is going to be Nick Biddy. 20th is Sean McDonald. 21st starter, Dave Mayberry. 22nd goes to Jonathan Osborne. Jack Dixon starts in the 23rd spot. Kevin Delia will start 24th. 25th starter, it's David Feet. Saying it wrong, I'm sure. In the number 1, Dylan Bryant will start 26th. Greg Dobson in the 085 will start 27th. Dana Shepard, 28th. Scott Milner, 29th. Analia Eaton will start 30th. 31st belongs to Zeth Hawley. 32nd, Charlie Herkis. Kevin Winker rolls in the 33rd spot. Jesse Redding, 34th. George Rincon, the 28, will start 35th. Albert Anderson, 36th. Tom Barish, 37th. Russ Kilgore in the 7 will start 38th. 39th starter is Russ Endicott in the number 57. 40th, Earl Evans in the 13. Chris Goins will start 41st. Mark Collins, 42nd. And Lori Vaught listed as 43rd. Some of these drivers may not take the green, so just be aware of that if you don't see them out there. But that is your starting grid for the NTRL versus VRL Halloween Brawl from Michigan Speedway. Going green here in just a few moments. Field pulling out of pit lane. Should be just one lap to get the field set here. Might have to go 2 with this larger field. Typically 20 to 30 truck fields in most of the league events that we broadcast. This one here, a full field of trucks. Honestly, more than you would typically see even in a real-life Craftsman Truck Series race. And as I suspected here, looks like Mark Collins and Lori Vaught are going to not take the green flag here, it appears. Jesse Redding, though, hasn't left as well. Chris Goins is finally moving. What happens here with the 21 of Jesse Redding, if he makes it out there to take the green or not. So 80 laps the race distance, 160 miles. Pace car getting ready to head down pit lane, makes the hard left turn. Green. Little stack up in the back of the pack. Guys jumping out of the way with the green flag in the air. Caleb Sisk with the initial jump. Mike Taylor, the number 98, to the inside. In behind Caleb Sisk. Sisk is going to lead it down to the 1 and 2. Lap 1 in the books. Caleb Sisk is going to lead him across the stripe here. Lap 1. Now lap 2. Maintaining the race lead as Chris Klein gets up into the 3rd position ahead of Justin Morrow. Timothy Pope in 5th where he started. Jeremiah Burke up to P6. He's up 2 spots. Adamson maintaining the 7th position, or at least for the time being. Nope, Zach Millett takes it away. Millett up 3 positions as well if he can get clear of Adamson. Millett topside, now below him is the 53 of Jeremiah Burke, trying to take the spot back. Taking the spot from Timothy Pope, moved the 315 up into the 5th position. Biggest mover so far is Connor Leach back in the 71. He's up 11 positions already into the 7th spot. Leach running out in the number 71 machine. Not going to get anybody out there complaining that they couldn't see the 71. That thing just pops. Leach continuing to march towards the front, now up 12 positions in P6, but Zach Millett continuing his run, now up into the top 3. Still has to fight with the 46 of Justin Morrow. Millett's got him clear, but a big run from the 98, and Mike Taylor coming up behind from Zach Millett. Taylor goes to the high side, gonna have a big run out of turn number 2. Millett's got to watch the mirrors for that one. Millett with a good exit in turn number 2, manages to stay there in the 3rd spot. Caleb Sisk still your race leader. Chris Klein in the 2nd spot. Sisk still out in front here, about quarter second ahead of the 37 of Chris Klein. Again, being a hosted session, the numbers on the doors may not necessarily match the numbers in the timing tower, so just take that with a grain of salt. Again, the 6, well, that's the 6. But second place, you'll see the 37 of Chris Klein. On the door, though, it's the 51. Maybe some other drivers out there with very similar issues, but no number assignments here in this league versus league race with the VRL versus the NTRL. Watch Dylan Bryant, number 8 truck. Dylan back in 19th. Now Nick Biddy in the 32, 14th. Have a battle here for the 2nd spot here momentarily. In fact, it's happening right as we speak. Zach Millett is closed in and caught the 51 of Chris Klein. Goes to the inside and turns 3 and 4. Takes the 2nd spot away. Sets his sails on the 6 of Caleb Sisk. Chris Klein not giving up here. He's right there on the back bumper of Zach Millett. Top three under a blanket here at lap 11. Caleb Sisk out in front of Zach Millett, Chris Klein, Connor Leach, Jess Vaught. Vaught? I'm going to go with Vaught. It's a one-off race, guys. Don't know the guys in the other league, so my apologies if I get the names wrong. Leach and Chris Klein fighting it out there. Leach on the outside, the number 71. Leach is really working his way through this field. He started 18th, and in just 11 laps, he's up to the third spot, even just by a nose. May have the 51 clear here down into turn number 1. Number 33 of Jess Vaught closing in there, following in the tire tracks of the 71.
Caution.
Jess running the old Cal Yarborough paint scheme, but the caution comes out. Looks like it could be Andrew Cawthon. Indeed it is. Incident happening out of turn number 2. Looks like Dave Mayberry may have been involved in it as well. So caution on the Speedway for the first time here this afternoon, 13 laps in. It's about halfway, a little more than halfway through that first fuel run. We'll see who comes down for tires if they opt to do so, but I would imagine you're going to see some guys take fuel for sure. Let's get a look and see what happened here. Put us onto this first caution of the day. One truck up into the wall here. That's the 10 of Cawthon. Multiple drivers involved in this. Getting a better look at it here, maybe from the blimp. Slides it up the racetrack, comes down, collects another truck, 2 trucks, and it's just domino affecting from there. Lots of drivers getting a piece of this. The 10 just turned it into a pinball here. So everybody's going to roll down pit lane here for fuel. Sisk leading Millett, Leach, Klein, Vaught, Pope. Frankly, everybody else in this field. A few drivers not pitting just for regular reasons here. Sisk overdrives the pit box, shoots it through. That's going to cost him here. We'll see what happens. Millett's going to get down here. I think he's going to beat the 6 out. Leach may have as well. We'll see if that one passes muster here. So Millett, Leach, and Sisk will be your new top 3 when we go back to the green flag. Sisk missing the pit box here, has to overshoot, has to back up. Costs him some valuable time in the pits. Lost him the lead for that matter. So under our first caution of the race here, we're going to step aside and get an HBR TV break out of the way. We'll be back after this.
I met Marcos Garza when we were doing radiothons for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We needed sponsors to help us raise money, and he's always the first one to jump in. I would describe Marcos and his team as upstanding, someone you can trust, and he is just a genuine guy.
Marcos has been very generous. He has a genuine concern for people. You need somebody that cares about you. And that's what Marcos is, and that's pretty much what this firm is.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
back at Michigan International Speedway. Coming to lap 16 to wrap up caution number 1. Zach Millett's going to have the lead here. Looks like Caleb Sisk actually did have that second spot out of pit lane here. Trying to heat the tires up, almost getting into the door of Zach Millett as we get ready to come to green here. Into the restart zone. Green is in the air. Millett with a good jump. Majority of the field taking fuel only on that first pit stop. Lead here. Caleb Sisk to the inside as Zach Millett out of turn number 4. Little loose on the exit of turn 4 as Sisk not able to get alongside again, but might be trying back here down into turn number 1. He has the run. He's alongside Millett down into turn 1 with a little bit of help here from the 71 of Connor Leach. Millett's going to lose the race lead here. Sisk going to go back to the point. Out of turn number 2. Now a bit of a drag race down the backstretch. Sisk drops it back down in front of Connor Leach. Sun starting to peek back out as Millett trying to fight off the advance with the 71. Leach looks fast as well as he does try to tuck back in behind the 6. Going to carry a little bit of a draft. Millett not giving up though, still hanging on the right rear of the 71 through the tri-oval down into turn number 1 once again. It's also allowed Tim Pope to come up here into the mix in the 4th position. Jess Vaught still running 5th in the 33. Oh, contact! Zach Millett goes around off the nose of the 71. Caution on the speedway. Zach Millett doesn't hit much there. Might not be any damage to speak of, but nevertheless, the caution does come out. Second time tonight. Well, let's get a look at it. Zach Millett, a half spin out of turn number 2. Let's see what happened here specifically. Slow it down just a bit. The 71 to the inside, that's Connor Leach. Try to get a better view on this. Backing up a little further here again. Tough to say how it happened. Obviously, there was contact between the 315 and the 71. The concern here with the amount of wheel spin out of the 315 here, you might have roasted those rear tires. Different view from above. Looks like the 71 might have slipped up the track just a hair. Gets into the left rear. So Millett in the pits here. Let's see if we can get a word with him here in just a moment. And let's see if we can pull Millett in here and get a word with the driver of the 315. Zach and Steve with HBR TV up in the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Hey, what's up, Steve?
Well, lots up, at least on your end here. Let's talk about that incident out of turn number 2. You and the 71 of Leach making some contact. I mean, obviously you were just a hair in front of him here. You went around, no damage to speak of, but walk us through what it looked like from your perspective inside the cockpit of that HBR TD315.
Well, we were making our way up to the front there. We had a really good run. I was planning on coming off too, and I had a good enough run, probably get side by side with Josh. But I don't know, it just kind of seems like there's not much working together for teams anyway. But Connor already apologized to me. He's a good enough driver. It was just a mistake. It was no big deal. But it really puts us in a tough spot, and man, we got a lot of trucks to pass again.
Got your work cut out for you for sure. Even in watching the replay, it looked like the 71 just kind of slipped up the racetrack a bit, and it doesn't take much when you got that thing loaded up and around you guys went. But no damage to the truck to speak of?
I don't think we have any damage. I think I probably took another 5 or 10% off the back tires trying to keep it off the wall, getting into the gas. But I don't know. Hopefully we can hang on to it. I'm still on my original set, so we're going to make these last as long as possible.
Won't be too much longer. You'll be able to put on 4 fresh ones and get back out there. Zach, good luck the rest of the way, man.
Thanks, brother.
And Zach Millett was running second at the time of the caution with himself and the 71 of Leach. Around he went. Pretty deep hole he's got to dig himself out of here, back in the 32nd spot. Not a very long race either, so he's going to have to go get it done here sooner than later. So Caleb Sisk is going to lead him down here once again. Chris Klein will be to the outside. Nick Biddy, Skylar Harrod, Albert Anderson, the top 5 as we get ready to go back green flag racing here. It'll be lap 22. Pace car is off. Sisk with the control of the restart. Into the restart
Green
zone. Sisk fires, and we're back racing at Michigan. 22 laps go up on the board. And already a battle for the second spot. Chris Klein, Skylar Harrod going to go at it. Harrod to the inside, the number 3 Toyota. Chris Klein, the 51 up top. Again, for those of you just joining us, the timing tower will be slightly different here. This is not a league race per se, so the number assignments do not exist. Klein with the 51 on the truck, 37 in the tower. Oh, Chris Klein real loose, slips it down, almost makes contact with the 99. There might have been some contact with the 32. Klein's going to have to gather it back up and get back up to pace. He's lost a couple of spots now, at least. Now back to P6. Harrod jumps to the second spot. Albert Anderson third. Kevin Delia fourth. Dylan Bryant now fifth. Albert Anderson, the number 99 machine, he's up 33 positions. Started 36th here today. Look at all those trucks here at Michigan Speedway. Glad there's plenty of room.
Caution's out.
And caution on the speedway once again. Might be a couple of trucks here, and Laster and Morrow. Laster in the 013, trying to get her going here. Morrow also slow. 25 laps in here at Michigan. Let's go to the tape and see what happened. 013 to the outside of the 46. Exit of turn 2. Oh, the 013 just slips it up the racetrack. Got a little loose on exit, slides it right down into the path. Both drivers, oh, big time impact for both drivers. Hard hits. Good thing this is the sim. Go real speed here. Just loose. Oh. Well, the old term cautions breed cautions certainly coming true here at Michigan. 25 laps in, 3 yellows to speak of. We're going to jump out and get another break out of the way. We'll be back after this.
I met Marco Scarza when we were doing radiothons for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We needed sponsors to help us raise money, and he's always the first one to jump in. I would describe Marcos and his team as upstanding, someone you can trust, and he is just a genuine guy.
Marcos has been very generous. He has a genuine concern for people. You need somebody that cares about you. And that's what Marcos is, and that's pretty much what this firm is.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Back at Michigan Speedway, just about to ready to go back. Green flag racing.
flag.
Caleb Sisk holds him down here. He's in the throttle. Good jump by the 3 of Skylar Harrod, almost matching the exact same time when the 6 fired off. Tucks in behind Sisk down into turn number 1. Anderson now 3rd. 20 Adelia in 4th. Dylan Bryan up to 5th. Chris Klein recovering now back into the 6th position. We'll see if the 51 can work his way back up towards the front. Pressure on. Sisk still leads here as we approach lap 29. In fact, we're on lap 29. What am I talking about approach? Battle really for second, though. Skylar Harrod, Albert Anderson going at it. Anderson slides up the racetrack just a bit. Big wiggle on a couple of these trucks off turn number 2. They all keep her going. I'm going to say Kevin Delia there is the 20 in your tower, 53 on the racetrack. Again, some of these numbers are not going to match up. This is not a league race per se. This is a hosted session. So number assignments being what they are, not really going to work here in a hosted session. Still the battle up front, though, for second place. Anderson and the 3 of Harrod fighting for that second spot. Ironically, not losing any pace. Dylan Bryant real loose out of turn 2, just kisses the outside wall. Number 8, Dylan Bryant, barely touching the wall hard enough to scrape any paint off the side of that truck. Certainly got away with one. Still the battle here for the second spot. Anderson was right alongside the 3 there just a few moments ago. He's going to dive it back in here, try to get alongside, but now he's got his own battle to deal with. That's Kevin Delia, the number 20/53, I think it was. Skyler pushing the 6 down the racetrack. On board with Chris Klein, still fighting out now into the top 5. He's running 4th, back to where he started, so it's all a wash. Still trying to hold off Anderson, and now the 32 of Nick Biddy. Caleb Sisk still with the race lead, but Skylar Harrod, he's got lots of pace there in behind the 6. Slots up in front of Delia. Almost some contact. There might have been some contact between the 3 and the 53. Kevin Delia is going to try and take over that second spot. Chris Klein's going to try and go along with him. Harrod now back to the bottom, unable to get alongside the 53. Sisk dropping it down here, trying to break the draft. I think that's what the plan is there for Caleb Sisk. As the race leader, you don't want to give anybody behind you any more of an advantage than you have to. Chris Klein and Albert Anderson fighting it out. Anderson up the racetrack in the 99. Harrod way up the racetrack, got a piece of the wall on exit. It's going to stack up everybody in behind. They all get away with it. No caution, no trouble, no crashed race trucks. Man, oh man. While Albert Anderson in the 3rd spot. We've got a battle for the race lead. Caleb Sisk and Kevin Delia. Delia the 53. It'll be the 20 in the timing tower. Side by side down into turn number 1. 35 laps in. Sisk has been the dominant truck here tonight thus far. Delia working out from the 24th position, now up to 2nd, challenging for the race lead. Brian Rose in the stream chat says, geez, that's a lot of trucks. It's going to be 40 that took the green flag, sir. Still the battle for the race lead. Caleb Sisk, top of the racetrack, and I think Delia might have led that lap just by a few inches. Still the battle continues, side by side into turns 1 and 2. Slides up the track, almost contact. Got to be careful in these trucks. That hitbox is awfully large. Definitely running the risk of some netcode issues. Caleb Sisk not willing to yield the position. Delia drives alongside. Oh, some contact. Sisk saves it up the racetrack in front of the field. He gets run into a couple of times, still keeps it straight, but he gets it into the fence. He's going to go from the race lead to just outside the top 10. Meanwhile, Jess Vaught has taken over the race lead. Picked up the scraps in that scenario. Certainly the contact with Delia and Sisk slowed the momentum out of the 20/53, and we got a truck around in the backstretch.
All right, buddy, a couple laps by yourself.
Chris Klein, get off the brake. If he just lifted off the brake, it would have rolled. A little bit of impact to the inside wall, though there is a fast repair for these drivers to use tonight. Just one. And honestly, I don't see a need here for the 51 to use it at this point. It looks pretty good. Might still have to sit there for a little bit to get some repairs made, but I wouldn't burn that fast repair yet. We are not even halfway. We're 4 cautions in, so kind of want to gamble a bit. Don't use that fast repair just yet. The right side of the truck actually looks pretty good, so yeah, definitely do not use that fast repair if there's even any damage. Definitely got the inside wall, but it wasn't all that bad. So with this pit stop, I imagine you're going to see a lot of drivers taking tires. Their first set of tires tonight. Again, 2 sets over the wall. In roughly 23 laps, the distance they can run on fuel. Granted, we've had a bunch of cautions, so that certainly increases that number. Field working their way down pit lane here. Jess Vaught going to be the leader. Kevin Delia, the number 53, comes to the attention of his pit crew. Tire certainly going on the 53. Millett comes to a stop in his pit box. Let's see what he does. Still working his way through the field after his incident off turn 2. And it's going to be 4 tires and fuel, I think, for just about everybody up and down pit road. So Zach Millett gets out of pit lane here. It looks like he's back into the top 10. Strong run for the 315. Hey, we got Sarah Bognaski. Hopefully I'm saying that right. I just call her Ginger. So does her husband. Or, well, it's not really her husband, but might as well be. Stopping in to say, hey, also tell Millett to hurry it up. Uh-oh. Old lady's in mad. You better get going, Millett. Got Unusual Ryan saying, let's go, Skylar and Caleb. Guys, thanks for jumping in here. Skunkworks Graphics saying, damn, I just put that wrap on, Chris. Guys, thanks for showing up over here. I know we're the backup stream here, the dual streaming race. We're not trying to take anything away from AAA. Those guys do an awesome job. Always need the extra reps over here, but we're going to step aside here, get a quick break. Just about halfway. Stay with us, guys. We'll be right back.
I met Marco Scarza when we were doing radiothons for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We needed sponsors to help us raise money, and he's always the first one to jump in. I would describe Marcos and his team as upstanding, someone you can trust, and he is just a genuine guy.
Marcos has been very generous. He has a genuine concern for people. You need somebody that cares about you. And that's what Marcos is, and that's pretty much what this firm is.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Back to Michigan Speedway. Green flag going back in the air right now. The 33 of Jess Vaught. Good restart for the 33. Leaves the second and third place machines to battle out between the two of them, Kevin Winker and Kevin Delia. Side by side for the second spot. Winker and Delia going at it. The 33 with the lead off turn number 2. Kevin Delia takes over that second spot. Winker now back to 4th. Little bit of contact between Winker and the 32 of Nick Biddy. Biddy's tucking up in front of the 42. So is the 53 of Delia. Laps up on the board. The 33 still with the race lead off of turn number 2. The 20/53. Kevin Delia running second. Nick Biddy is third. Kevin Winker runs in the 4th spot. Skylar Harrod back to 5th. And Zach Millett after his spin off turn number 2 just a little bit ago from the back of the pack up into the 6th position. 4 wide. We got a car. Maura Leach on the bottom. Oh, we got a wreck here on the front stretch. Multiple drivers involved. Yellow is out. Oh, big time impact. Multiple drivers involved here. Let's try and get a look at it here from the Connor Leach perspective. This is all starting here out of turn 4. We talked about the 71 of Leach, dropped it to the bottom of the racetrack, and we're going to freeze it right here. We're 5 wide here. Not 3, not 4. We are 5 wide. Okay, we'll slow it real down here. You see the 71 to the bottom there, but we're definitely 5 wide here out of turn 4. I don't know if the 48 had contact that sent him in front of these trucks, but nonetheless, down the racetrack, down the banking, into the 71 of Leach. Tim Pope involved. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Justin Morrow's going to get drilled here in a minute. 6, 7. 7 or 8 trucks involved in this wreck. Definitely the big one here at Michigan. Track Bar Media in the stream chat says 6 wide. Maybe I can't count. That very well could be the case. Let's go back and look at it again. Trying to get the best blimp angle here to look at this. I mean, there's already contact being made here. Connor Leach there on the bottom. And I think that's what starts to trigger this. But there was an incident up at the top of the racetrack. So the 48 and the 728 both coming around here. And the wrecks effectively are independent of each other. They just kind of happen in the same place. Didn't realize that 48's got Franklin Barbecue on the side. Great, now I want brisket. Just another big lick there for the 46. Meanwhile, Connor Leach parked on the backstretch here. Not sure the situation here. I can't imagine he's out of fuel. Let's go on board. Is it running? Yeah, it's running. Leach might have had to go use the little boys' room. I don't know. Good place to park if that's the case. But he's losing a lot of track position just hanging out. Track Bar Media says, definitely 5. Looked like 6 in real time. I mean, effectively, it probably was 6 wide at some point. Maybe by a 6-inch margin or 2. We'll see. But either way, 5 wide, even at Michigan, in the corner at least, on exit of 4. That's... well, you see what happens. I mean, that's what happens. And in that instance, it was just a matter of not really, I don't know if it was really the 5 wide that really triggered it. As Leach gets going again, but effectively it was 2 wrecks happening at the same time in the same spot. Skunkworks Graphics confirms he had to use the restroom. Punching air right now. Unusual Ryan just scrolling back up says, let's go Skylar and Caleb. Must be a Skunkworks supporter. Skunkworks Graphics. That or the wreck caused him to poop. Code Brown. Well, just like that, the lights go out and are extinguished on the iRacing Ford Mustang pace car. Wrapping up caution number 5 here. Restart coming in lap 47. Skunkworks Graphics again in the stream chat. Skunkworks, baby. I will say, no matter where I'm broadcasting, if any of those Skunkworks drivers are in the race, Skunkworks Graphics is absolutely going to be in the chat. I do appreciate that. So let's switch things up a bit as the 33 is going to lead them down to the green flag here. Let's ride on board with Jess Vaught. See how Jess takes the restart. Gonna wait till you get to the restart zone.
Green flag.
And we're off and running once again from Michigan. And Nick Biddy had a good run down into turn number 1. Not enough to get alongside the 33, but closed the gap quite a bit. Slides up the racetrack slightly, opens the door for Zach Millett down the back straightaway. Jess drops it down to the low side, sees the 315 making his approach. Wide for the race lead. The 33 goes from the first position back to 3rd or 4th as Millett takes over the top spot. Skylar Harrod back into 2nd. Nick Biddy 3rd. Vaught and Kilgore now battling for the 4th spot. Tucks into the 4th position. Still challengers coming. We're 3 wide here. Assist goes to the bottom. Kilgore up in the middle. Slides up the racetrack a bit. Pinches off the 53 of Delia. Caleb Sisk on the charge. Back to the front of the field here. Right now it seems like the 6 and the 315 are the fast trucks out there for sure. I gotta say that Caleb seems just a hair faster than the 315. Every time Zach's been out front, the 6 has been able to make that pass, be it up top or down low, as the 33 drops into the inside. An abrupt move to the inside of Caleb Sisk, 4th position. This would be for the 4th spot. 3 wide here again through 3 and 4. Still 3 wide. Now it's Millet and Harad, the top two. We got a three-way battle for third, fourth, and fifth. Biddy, Vaught, and Six. I still can't say it. Sisk. There we go. Oh! Door to door on a turn number 2. Still rubbing fenders. Caleb Sisk in the 33 of Jess Vaught. Door handle to door handle all the way through turn number 2. They keep it together and make it stick. Still side by side down into turn number 3. 3 wide behind them. Kilgore, Delia in the 32 of Nick Biddy. Jess goes up the racetrack into the fence a bit. Sisk a little bit loose, and we got trouble in behind. Kilgore and Dylan Bryant. Do we stay green? Does everybody keep it straight? I don't know how they did it. I really don't. I don't know if impressed is the word or shocked. But either way, it made it work. Millet, Harad, Vaught, Sisk, and Delia, the top 5. Biddy back to 6th. Winker up into the 7th spot. The 43 of Dana Shepard up into the 8th position. Dylan Bryant still 9th after a very scary moment out of turn 4. And 10th is Larry Dickerson. Skunkworks Graphics says the 3 truck is spooky. I think that's kind of the idea, right? It's another Skunkworks design, I believe, if I remember correctly. This race is winding down. Caleb Sisk just trying to find a way around the 2 trucks in front of him. Gets alongside the 33. This would be for the 3rd spot. You know he's got pace. Hit a lightning fast lap in qualifying to put it on pole position. Millet now dropping it all the way down to the apron, trying to break the draft from the 3, while the 6 and the 33 continue to fight for the 3rd spot. Still more door handle to door handle action. Sisk and Vaught being very aggressive with each other. And you know what? Some people might think, oh, these guys are going to be mad, but I don't know the 33 driver very well, and honestly, I don't know Caleb all that well enough. I mean, I know him, but I think these guys are having a blast racing that hard, door to door. As long as nobody wrecks, I don't think we're going to be too upset. Lap 54 goes up on the board. Millet still out in front. Skylar Harad running in 2nd. So with all that said, oh, we got trouble on a turn number 2. Trucks in the fence. We're staying under green. We got debris all over the racetrack. Caleb Sisk with a lot of damage. Way off the pace as the 33 has to check up to not run into him. Big time damage on the 6. And I hate to do this because it just doesn't look good, but this is a free broadcast. We're just doing this pro bono here tonight, so we're just going to rewind it so we get a better look at what happened as we stay under the green flag. All right, slowing it way down here. We're going to go to... let's try the... I'll watch the blimp here. It's a bit of a ways away, but this one's nice and close. What happens here with the 6 of Caleb Sisk as we continue to race under the green flag? This is the exit of turn 2. Caleb slides up, and we were just talking about as long as they don't crash. Well, now they've crashed. Caleb gets into the 33. Both drivers, big-time impact. The 6 gets the worst of it. And, yeah, the caution does not come out for this. I'm very surprised at that. Caleb sits in the pits here. I think he's trying to get it towed. It's tough to say. There was a fast repair to be used. Meanwhile, Zach Millet still out in front. And with that said, the cautions tonight are being administered by iRacing directly. So no admin cautions here, unfortunately. This was strictly an iRacing call. So no yellow. Whatever the reasons that iRacing looks for, didn't meet the criteria, apparently. laps to go. We're going to go HBR TV side by side for the one and only time here tonight. Stay with us, folks. We'll be right back.
I met Marco Scarza when we were doing radiothons for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We needed sponsors to help us raise money, and he's always the first one to jump in. I would describe Marcos and his team as upstanding, someone you can trust, and he is just a genuine guy.
Marcos has been very generous. He has a genuine concern for people. You need somebody that cares about you. And that's what Marcos is, and that's pretty much what this firm is.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Caution is out, caution is out. Good look at your temps, make sure everything looks okay.
Back at Michigan Speedway, we break in a little bit early here as we're under our sixth caution of the race. 22 laps to go. This time it's for Dana Shepard, the number 44 machine. Let's get a look at it, see what happened here out of turn number 2. Oh, big time Netco. Dana did come up the racetrack pretty quickly, but gets into the left side. I'm not sure who the driver was there. Back it up here again. Oh, it's Dickerson. Couple of trucks involved in this one. I will say Shepard did a good job trying to keep it up there on the wall. Pit stop's underway, though. This is likely to be, in fact, this is right within the window. This will be the final stop for these drivers as long as we don't have to go to a green-white checkered finish. But with the way this race has been going, there is certainly that chance. Millett going to go 4 tires and Sunoco Racing Fuel. It's a fancy pit board that Zach's got there. Millett down and away. Looks like he's going to exit pit lane first. Skylar Harrod will be second. Sean McDonald in the third spot. He either didn't take tires or there's no way he took rights. That'd be a lightning fast stop if it was rights, but it's possible. So Sean McDonald's going to restart here in third, but old tires. Connor Leach going to restart 7th, old tires. Everybody else back to P14. Fresh Goodyears. Bayberry in 15th, Dobson in 16th. They took fuel only, or rights. 4 tires for Jeremiah Burke in the 17th spot. I don't know if there was some strategy mistakes early on that some of these guys took their tires a lot sooner than they had planned. The 98 of Mike Taylor there behind the pace car. He's going to get the wave around here as we got 1 lap to go back to green. Taylor can go around, get his lap back this way. So it's going to be 19 laps to go when we take the green flag. Everybody should be good to go to the end on fuel. So it's going to be mash that throttle as far as it'll go. Push it through the floorboard, all the way through the wood. Got to be careful not to abuse the tires too much. Skunkworks Graphics reporting off topic, but apparently police have found the main shooter. Skunkworks, if you could give me some more information on that, I'd appreciate it. Did they take him alive? Did he take care of himself? And don't mention his name because, well, idiots like that don't deserve the notoriety. Certainly our thoughts and prayers with all of the people up in Maine. Pace car pulls off as we get ready to go back green flag racing. It'll be 19 laps to go. Most of the drivers here with fresh tires, some on old. Hopefully that doesn't pose a problem.
Green flag, green flag.
Flag back in the air. Millet with a good jump. Oh, Skylar Harrod dropping it down below here, changing lanes before start finish. I don't know if he's going to get dinged for that or not. Connor Leach just looks like he's going to pound the wall off it too, but he doesn't. And he's fast too, but Millet checking out here, 3/10 the advantage over the 3 of Harrod. Truck still coming up to speed. They're not as powerful as some of the other NASCAR vehicles on the sim, and they punch a huge hole in the air, but we got a battle for the race lead. Harrod took that draft and took advantage. He's alongside at the stripe, but Millet still with the lead. Tried to side draft there to slow the momentum of the 3. Skylar Harrod to the race lead, at least for the time being. 18 laps to go. He's clear of Zach Millet. Crossover coming from the 315. Harrod up the racetrack, keeps it out of the wall, and we got a spinner out of turn number 2. It's the 88. Mike Adamson is around.
In the wall.
Caution number 7. We watched it live here. I'm not sure if he had help there or not. Let's take a look at it. 88, Mike Adamson. Is in behind Connor Leach and just starts to lose it. Chris Klein finishes him off there. Not much Chris could do. But to put it in perspective as to what really happens here, you see right now the 88 of Adamson tucked in behind Connor Leach, but now he's starting to inch down to the inside, which puts more air on the nose of his truck. That gives more downforce to the front tires on the truck, which gives it more turn in. More turn in when you're not expecting it tends to make the truck very loose and it can come around. Add in the fact Chris Klein is right there. That's going to take some air off the rear spoiler as well, and you'll see the 88 here is going to just come around. He's already starting to come around, and then he gets hit. Not a major impact by any means, but certainly enough to bring the yellow out. How this one brings the yellow out and the issue with Caleb Sisk does not, I'll never know. But nevertheless, caution on the Speedway, 17 laps to go. We're going to take a short break here. I know we keep doing that, but cautions, well, there's nothing going on, so don't worry about it. We'll be back after this.
I met Marco Scarza when we were doing radiothons for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We needed sponsors to help us raise money, and he's always the first one to jump in. I would describe Marcos and his team as upstanding, someone you can trust, and he is just a genuine guy.
Marcos has been very generous. He has a genuine concern for people. You need somebody that cares about you. And that's what Marcos is, and that's pretty much what this firm is.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Back to the Irish Hills of Michigan. Caution number 7 about to wrap up here. Going to be 14 laps to go. Skylar Harrod must have been the race leader at the time of caution, as he's going to restart to the inside of Zach Millett as we come back to the start-finish line, getting ready for a green flag. We'll see if Millett's got anything for the 3, but of course Harrod has the advantage as the race leader.
Be ready, green flag.
As we've seen so many times on these restarts, the battle it is for the second spot. Millett gets clear of Kevin Winker. Winker slots himself in between Millett and the 32 of Nick Biddy. Millett with a big run out of turn number 2. Sticks it to the outside as Skylar Harrod keeps it out of the wall. Big run coming down the back straightaway. Bit of a drag race between the 315 and the 3. Millett inches out in front. Might have been clear for half a second, thinks better of it, stays in the middle lane now. No help for Millett, still side by side with the 3 of Harrod. The caution is out once again. What do we got? What do we got? Anybody? Sam McDonald maybe? There we go. I don't know if Sam McDonald had a farm, but he might have bought it here. Let's see. Sean McDonald, not Sam. Where am I getting Sam from? I'm losing it. The 27 here looks like a little bit of contact with Chris Klein. No, maybe not. Very, very close with Chris Klein, but then this 27 slides up the track, gets into the 81. All kinds of tire debris on the racetrack through that one. Again, to further update the situation with the shooter from Maine. Shooter was found dead. Unusual Ryan's comment. Good. I concur. Anybody out there that has ever had the thought of going into a public space and murdering people and then yourself, just reverse it. Start with yourself. Nobody else needs to deal with that. Sorry if that's a hot take, but if you're going to go out and kill people, just start with yourself. Or get some help. Works both ways. Both ways are positive. Sean McDonald back down the pit road here. A little bit of repairs to be done. Uses the fast repair again. You need 12 laps to go. I think we'll be 10 to go, maybe less. We get back to the green flag here. Millett, on the other hand, had taken over the race lead and was in the lead when the caution came back out. So now he gets the opportunity to start from the inside, if that's what he wants. Now, some leagues, now this isn't necessarily a league, it's obviously a culmination of the fast drivers from 2 different leagues, but they do tend to give the choice to the race leader at the restart of what lane to take, much like what you see in the NASCAR races today. Don't know if that's necessarily the rules everywhere. Maybe not the case here, but I think Millet's going to restart from the inside regardless. Unusual Ryan says, beautiful hot take. Well, thank you. Look, I don't want nobody to die, but if the choice is between the shooter and a bunch of innocent people, yeah, start with the shooter. The sad part is there's probably people out there that think I'm crazy for saying that, but I don't know. Well, 80-lap race. We're on our 8th caution with, well, it'll be 10 laps to go when we get back to the green flag. So right now we're getting close to about a caution every 10 laps or so. Again, a huge field here tonight. Not a points race by any means, so everybody here is just trying to win for their respective league. So as you can see, the pace car lights are indeed off, so we should be back green flag racing this time by. It'll be 10 laps to go. Hopefully we can get them all in without another yellow. Love to see these guys be able to fight it out on the racetrack instead of behind the pace car.
Green.
Green flag back in the air. Zach Millet with a good jump this time. Not as good of a reaction out of the 3 of Harad. It's going to be 10 laps to go as they head down into turn number 1. Kevin Winker making a look to the outside on Skylar Harad. Meanwhile, Kelly Cool's coming up in the middle here. Kelly's alongside Skylar Harad. Not Harad, actually, that's Kevin Winker. Kelly in the 0-1, now up into the 3rd spot, making a charge here to the front. Kelly with some pace here out of turn number 4 alongside the 3 for the 2nd spot. Millet drops it way down the racetrack, takes the draft away from the 0-1. 9 laps to go for Michigan. Millet now up the racetrack. He's going to try and give the outside lane a push and almost some contact with the 3. That was as close as you can get here in iRacing without getting turned. And honestly, even with a netcode issue, I don't know how Millet didn't go around on that one. That was close. I think Millet's enjoying the fact that the 0-1 and the 3 are fighting for that 2nd spot. It's making life a little bit simpler for him for the time being. These drivers all get lined out single file, though. That could certainly change. Continue to watch the fight here. This for 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th. You got the whole top 10 here. You can throw a big blue tarp over all of them. Chris Goins even up into the mix here. Haven't talked much about him. He started, well, at the back of the pack. 41st, I think it was, for Chris Goins. Up in the 8th position. The number 41, Popple Pro machine. Zach Millet under fire here. Kelly Cool to the inside, battling for the race lead. Haven't talked much about Kelly here tonight, but the 0-1 alongside Zach Millet for the race lead with less than 7 laps to go. Larry Dickerson back to the outside of the 0-1 as well. Larry's challenging. Dylan Bryant, a late race charge as well as Skylar Harad starts to slip back now into the 5th position. Was battling there with Millet for the race lead not too long ago. Dylan Bryant on the charge. Now he's up to 3rd. Uh-oh, trouble out of turn number 2. We got a big wreck. Chris Goins in it. Many others. Oh, big time. Connor Leach, the 18's in it as well. Kevin Winker, Skylar Harrod, Chris Goins, Nick Biddy, Connor Leach. This coming with 6 laps to go. I don't know if this will be enough to put us to NASCAR overtime yet, as they just crossed the line to put 5 laps to go. Well, we're not in Texas, but we're getting ready for Old Texas Shootout. Let's try to get a look, see what happened here specifically. Out of turn number 2. Oh, the 32 just gets right hooked. Skylar Harrod gets the right rear of the 32 and sends him spinning in front of traffic. Back it up a little bit further here and slow it down. They were 3 wide. Chaos here on the backstretch at Michigan. So 4 laps to go. We're under caution here. I don't know if we're going to get to overtime or not, at least in this instance. But the way this thing's been going, we may certainly see green, white, checkered finishes start to become the norm before this one's out. Skunkworks Graphics says not 3's fault. Well, I'm not here to call fault on anything. Less than 10 laps to go. 3 wide. Things happen. Skylar certainly is not going to do that in the instance where it's going to hurt him, and it definitely did as well. Let's get a look at it here from his perspective. I'm going to back it up a little bit further here and watch this. Again, slow motion through turn 2. You see the 32 to the left. He's starting to come up. So is the 3. But out of turn 2, yeah, I think the 32 might have come up. And it doesn't take much. You catch that right rear the way that you do, the truck's coming around. There's just no way to avoid it. You make contact there. That's what's going to happen. And we'll go full speed. This is how it looks from the driver's perspective when something like that happens. It's how much time you have to make a decision. And you can actually see the steering wheel on the 3 here. He had straightened it out right before contact was made. So back out front, pace car lights are off, so it'll be 2 laps to go. So we have a natural green, white, checkered shaping up here. Skunkwork says, come on, make the call. Just kidding. In my opinion, if I was the one in charge, it doesn't look like it was the 3's fault. It looks like a racing deal to me. Yes, the 32 started to come up, but again, it doesn't take much. Certainly the 32 did not do that on purpose because it ended his race. But close racing, latter stages, these things happen. So again, a natural green, white, checkered here. We'll get the green flag this time. It'll be 2 laps to go. Then the white flag the next time by. That would be the final lap, in case you don't know what that means. It's perfectly fine if you don't. You could be a new race fan. That's fine. Pace car pulls off, and we got ourselves a shootout to the finish as long as we stay green for this lap.
Green flag.
Green flag back in the air. Zach Millett with the jump. Now, I've seen this a couple of times tonight. 8 to be specific. The race leader gets out to a good jump, and then the guys behind him use the draft and they close up the gap. Much like we see if you get too far of a lead, too much of a lead at Daytona or Talladega, the guys behind you with the draft, they can really chew you up. So Millett's got to be careful here. Keep an eye on the mirrors. Dylan Bryant to the outside. Kelly Cool to the inside. Millett's got to pull a little Pied Piper, a little Dale Jr. action here and block both lanes, but he can't. Cool is there at the bottom. Can't drop it down, and Millett almost in the middle here. He tucks up ahead of Dylan Bryant out of turn number 4. White flag is waving. Do they get back to the stripe before an issue? Final lap here from Michigan Speedway. Zach Millett with the race lead, but only by a foot or 2 over Kelly Cool. And I don't care if that's Kelly's pronunciation last name right. Kelly Cool sounds pretty cool, so I'm going to stick with that for now. Final lap out of turn number 2. Zach Millett still side by side with the 01. Drag racing down the back straightaway. Dylan Bryant trying to find a way around. Was in behind the 01. Now tucks behind Zach Millett into turns 3 and 4. Cool still alongside. Millett might have a big run out of turn number 4. Will it be enough? Dylan Bryant drops it down to the bottom. Contact, maybe, no. Side by side to the finish. Checkered flag goes to Zach Millett. Kelly Cool finishes second, but barely 0.02 of a second, the margin of victory for Zach Millett. Millett, your race winner here in the VRL versus NTRL. Now, of course, you got to figure out how many drivers of each league were within the top 10. I'm not going to make that call. And I know the broadcast at AAA is going to want to interview Zach Millett, so they'll get that out of the way. And then we'll try and pull Zach in our broadcast booth as well. Certainly was close, but Millett takes the win. Sarah Bagnoski says nice, which she really means to say finally he's done. Zach Millett put the HBR TV Chevrolet in victory lane. With that, we're going to jump out and get a break out of the way. It may be a little bit before we get Millett into the broadcast booth because he has obligations over at AAA, and he's got to work tonight, so I don't know if we'll get him. But we're going to give it a shot. So stay with us if you want to hear from Zach Millett. If not, well, we'll be back either way. Stay with us.
I met Marco Scarza when we were doing radiothons for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We needed sponsors to help us raise money, and he's always the first one to jump in. I would describe Marcos and his team as upstanding, someone you can trust, and he is just a genuine guy.
Marcos has been very generous. He has a genuine concern for people. You need somebody that cares about you. And that's what Marcos is, and that's pretty much what this firm is.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
again. Try to find me a sweet little girl of mine, but chip whiskey is playing with my mind. I'm lost in a bottle. Lord, I can't stop feeling sorry for myself. I'm drowning on sorrow. A girl wants you and nobody else. I keep on looking every day and every night, but I just don't know where that baby of mine. Well, I just don't know. Have mercy, brother. Back at Michigan International Raceway, Zach Millett, your race winner by just a mere foot over the 01 of Kelly Cool. Zach Millett, Steve in the HBR TV broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, buddy.
Millett, congratulations. That was a close one. Some really fast drivers in both of these leagues. You come out on top by, again, not much, but it doesn't matter how much you win by as long as you win, man. Tell us about your race. Obviously, you had that spin out of turn number 2 early on. You fought your way back to the front, and you take the checkered flag, man. Walk us through it.
Man, I don't think there could have been any more drama in this race for me. It was just absolute stressful, and it was awesome though. It's we did half the race on the first set of tires, which was definitely scary, especially trying to put the power down way too soon and come back through the field. That spin really set us back, but it definitely made things way more interesting. That's for sure.
Well, you come out on top. I don't know where the leagues ended up as far as which league had the better top 10 finishes or what the situation is there. Do you have any idea?
No, I don't. I know it's basically like iRacing points for whichever on whoever team, and it's, I don't know, it's a bit confusing deal.
Well, we'll get that figured out. At the end of the day, the first place finisher, Zach Millett, taking the checkered flag here at Michigan Speedway. This is not a league race per se. Of course, there's 2 leagues involved in it, a head-to-head battle here, just kind of something fun to do before we get into Halloween here. But we've got a league race in the Noble Racing Series coming up this coming Sunday. They run the Gen 4 Cup Series car, and it's going to be the old school Atlanta Motor Speedway. I know you love that car. How do you feel about that track car combination and your chances of taking a win maybe from Brian McCann next weekend?
Man, it's a crazy combo. It's going to be hell to hang on to that thing. The problem is I have another race that night. There's a Halloween bash over at LSR, and it's for $100. So I got to weigh it, going to try to beat McCann or maybe going for $100. I don't know. It's a toss-up.
I say you show up to Noble. Nothing against LSR because I cover those guys too. Not for that particular race, but I don't know. Beating McCann, that's almost like $100.
That's probably better than $100. Yeah.
Well, we'll wait and see how it goes. Nonetheless, congratulations, Zach, man. Who do you want to shout out to before we let you get going back to the Ginger and then maybe work?
Yeah, well, definitely work. Unfortunately, that's coming up quick here, but yeah, I got to thank you, Steve, HBR TV, for the broadcast as always. Got to thank AAA Broadcasting for broadcasting tonight too. They did an awesome job. HBRShops.com, HBRTV1.com, Numb Thumbs Gaming, NTRL, DW, all the admins, everybody keeps everything in line for us. They got to thank the VRL for coming on board and doing this league versus league thing. It was just wicked fun. We're going to do it every year, I guess. Now we're going to pass the flag back and forth from the winners, so that's going to be cool. I got to thank Martin Sports, Track Bar Media, Eric Dotson, State Farm, Castle, Pax Power, Davidson Builders, and shoot me a follow over on Twitch at that S4 guy.
And don't forget to thank Derek for letting you use his ugly mug there on the pit board.
Yeah, I got to thank DW for having such a great face. It really made me hit my mark in my pit box every single time. So we're going to keep that probably for the rest of the season. And I'm not going to lie, Steve, there's like 10 other guys that want it too.
Very good. Zach, congratulations again on the race win here in this league versus league Halloween Brawl. Congratulations, man. We'll see you at the next one.
Thanks, brother.
Zach Millett, your race winner here at Michigan Speedway, the only interview we're going to get to knock out here tonight. So let's just jump right to the race results for tonight. Of course, Zach Millett, your race winner. Kelly Cool was second. Dylan Bryant, a strong run, finishes third. Fourth place finisher, Analia Eaton. Fifth was Larry Dickerson. Tommy Welch was sixth. Chris Klein, 7th. Jess Vaught was 8th. Again, Jess, sorry if I'm screwing up that last name, but I've never called a race with you in it yet, so mistakes, these things happen. Jeff Ottinger was 9th. Jack Dixon was 10th. Dave Mayberry, 11th. Mike Taylor was 12th. Scott Milner finishes in the 13th spot. Mike Adamson, 14th. Dana Shepard was 15th. 16th finisher was Jeremiah Burke. Greg Dobson was 17th. Russ Endicott finishes out in the 18th position. 19th finisher was George or Jorge, not sure, Rincon, the number 28 in the 19th spot. 20th was Sean McDonald. Jonathan Osborne finished 21st. David Feet was 22nd. Russ Kilgore, 23rd. Andrew Player, 24th. 25th was Tom Barish. 26th, Nick Biddy. Kevin Delia was 27th after some time out near the front. 28th was Andrew Cawthon. Chris Goins, after a late crash, finishes 29th. 30th, Zeth Hawley. Kevin Winker, involved in that same crash, was 31st. 32nd, Earl Evans. Skylar Harrod, 33rd. Tim Pope was 34th. Connor Leach, 35th. Albert Anderson, 36th. Charlie Herkes, 37th. Caleb Sisk was 38th. Brayton Laster was 39th. Justin Morrow, 40th. Jesse Redding finished 41st, 80 laps down. In fact, the last three finishers on the board here did not take the green flag. That's Redding, Collins, and Lori Vaught. Again, I think here for admin purposes, Jesse Redding was a late addition to the session. Not sure the situation there with the 21 machine, but nevertheless credited with 41st finishing position. Gotta thank you guys all for tuning in tonight. Little pro bono action here for the broadcast team. Thank you guys for coming into it. Much busier than I expected it to be, actually, in the stream chat, and I really do appreciate you guys being here. League versus league, broadcast versus broadcast. I didn't even think about it that way. We really should have talked that one up. Again, in all seriousness, AAA Broadcasting doing a great job over as the primary for tonight's race, and they also cover a lot of the league races for the Numb Thumbs Racing League, and I believe VRL as well. So Very busy group, just as we are here at HBR TV. But thank you guys all for tuning in. Again, as we said to Zach about the No Bowl Racing Series, that's coming up this coming Sunday. The old Atlanta Motor Speedway before the reconfiguration and high banked and turned it into a terrible super speedway, but that's just my opinion. I could be wrong. Gen 4 Cup cars, that should be a fun one to watch. 4th race of the season. Tune in and do it here at HBR TV, HBRTV1.com, YouTube.com/@HBRTV1. If you didn't already like the stream tonight, please do so. That makes a huge difference in how many eyeballs get to see tonight's stream. I have seen it change in the last couple of weeks. You guys have been really good about hitting that like button, and the number of viewers I've been getting after the fact has been significantly higher than it has been in the past. So thank you guys. That's because of all you hitting that like button. I do appreciate it. Just keep it up. Just makes things better, not just for us here at HBR TV, but also the league that we're covering at the time. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you at the next one. Have a good night.